Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
Hezbollah, star power here in Abu Dhabi.
Cheers, guys.
Sick and old, it's there for you. Because I heard people say, well, I don't want to buy into Medicare.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
You're getting emotional, Tony.
That's because I know what it's like to lose a pet.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon episode number 63. This one is kind of off the rip. I don't even have a can to crack, but I hope that this will suffice. Ready? Oh my gosh. It's carbonated. Yeah, it's a Diet Pepsi. What are you going to do about it, alright? I hope that was enough ASMR for you tonight, today, this morning, this evening, whenever the heck you're listening to this. But here we go. This is another episode almost completely off the rip. Okay, I don't even have my stim toy. I don't know if I'm gonna survive. I truly don't. I could die. I could die right now. That's how serious this is. I could be killed without my stim toy. You know what? I might have to get it out. I'm gonna get it out. Give me 1 second. You know, I think part of me loves to hold this pen in my hand during episodes because it's something to do with my hands. And I think another part of me loves it because it makes me look important. Holding something in your hands while you talk makes you look like you know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about at all. Do you? I don't. But here we are, guys. It's episode number 63. Today I wanted to talk about Twitter reply guys. Twitter reply guys. X reply guys. Okay. X is one of the dumbest names I've ever heard. It really is. Twitter has always been Twitter and will continue to be so. Whenever someone says X, you know who they voted for. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, if someone says Twitter, you know what they're talking about. Someone says X, that's a letter of the alphabet. I think Elon Musk went too broad on his branding for X. I mean, obviously it's gonna work because Twitter has always been around. No one's gonna delete the app. No one's gonna delete it. We're all addicted. It's everyone's main source of news. It's everyone's favorite meme platform. No one's gonna delete it. But if Twitter started off as x.com, it would have been like the new OnlyFans. You know, OnlyFans, by definition, is not a porn platform. It's not. OnlyFans could be for anything. Okay, it could be like Patreon. I've subscribed to a couple of Patreons because I love the podcasts. And I want a bonus episode. OnlyFans could very well be that platform, but it's not. It was invaded by porn stars. It was invaded by hoes, both men and women. And now it's known as the porn platform. And it will always be. They would have to do a huge update to get rid of that. But they're not going to. That's their main customer base at this point. But, I mean, just like Twitch, you know, Twitch is now a porn platform. There's like iShowSpeed and you know, a few others, and then you scroll past them and it's girls in hot tubs with a little game in the top right corner going, and they're just in a bikini. That's what Twitch is now. Twitch started as like a gaming thing, but if you give the right audience, you know, if you have a gaming thing, it will eventually devolve into Pornhub. That's kind of how it goes. Twitch is basically Pornhub now. OnlyFans has always been it. Patreon, I don't know. Do people like post porn on Patreon? I don't actually know, but I use Patreon. It's a good platform for getting more in-depth, having a deeper parasocial relationship with your favorite podcasters. It's awesome at what it does. It's really good at that. The podcasts that I'm subscribed to on Patreon for $5 a month, I feel like I'm their best buddies, and they don't know I exist. They know I exist only because $5 hits their Patreon account every month from yours truly. And that's the goal for me. I want to have as many parasocial relationships someday as possible. And that's kind of where we are right now. That, do you really want to talk to people? Do you really want to get to know them? Or would you rather have them hand you $5 a month so that, they can listen to you talk? That's what everyone wants. That's, you don't want to talk to people. You want them to listen to you. You want them to give you $5 a month. Obviously, I'm kidding, but you get where I'm coming from. So today's show is all about Twitter, though, and Twitter has been a part of my life for 10 years or so, which is more than half of Twitter's lifetime age. Twitter is, I think Twitter spawned in 2006. Okay. They claim that there's a founder. They claim that there was a coder once. No, Twitter just kind of came into existence, if you ask me. There was no coders. There were, Oh, did you see the Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg just invented the Facebook. It's so intuitive. You have to have a harvard.edu email to sign up. No, but Twitter was founded in, I think, 2006. You know what? I have a computer right here. Let me look it up. When was Twitter founded? Yeah, 2006. Okay, it was a little bit behind YouTube, which is very surprising because a video platform back then was probably way harder to make happen. But, the video of the guy at the zoo, me at the zoo, that's from 2005. But it's been around for a while. For a while, Twitter was kind of like the Wild West. I mean, you have all these athletes and all these artists and actors, etc., that, like, back in 2010 were, like, hailing Hitler. They were talking about how they're gay. They were talking about, I love cock, from, like, Josh Allen. Twitter was the Wild West for a really long time. And then it sort of went through a lot of censorship and through a lot of different things, but it's still here today. It's almost 20 years old. It could almost get a drink at the bar. We're not quite there yet. It's like 19 and a half. But it's been around for a while. So Twitter, to me, has always kind of been a good news source. It's sort of a pulse on the population. And to say that is actually dangerous because Twitter is a hellscape. Twitter is not what the population truly believes. I think Twitter is the highest IQ social platform, and I will die on that hill. I think Instagram, it's just pictures. Oh, we went to the bar. Did you see my Halloween costume? We were at the bar and you weren't. We had fun and you didn't. Twitter is sort of like that vibe. Look at me. I'm in a country you can't pronounce, and you're not. It's like the Josh Block platform. Facebook, lowest IQ platform. Facebook is trash. I do not use Facebook. I have to use it for my line of work, to advertise, of course. And apparently there's millions of people out there that scroll through Facebook every day, and I cannot relate to them at all. Facebook is like the most outright social platform of like, this is a data harvesting and data mining platform first and foremost. Facebook is not real at all. Like, Facebook, what are you posting on Facebook? There's nothing to be said on Facebook. If you post something on Facebook, the people that are going to see it are like either 100 years old in their deathbed, or they're like, I don't know, trying to stalk their ex and see what their relationship status says. Facebook is not real. What the hell is Facebook? I think most of Facebook's revenue these days comes off of selling your personal information and from Marketplace and from ads. It's not like Facebook is inhumane, okay? If you ask me whether I'd rather us be able to torture rats in a lab to gain scientific information or allow people to have a Facebook account, I would side with the former, okay? I'd rather us inject a rat with something random to see if it could help us than to allow a single human being to have a Facebook account. Facebook is the worst social platform I've ever seen in my entire life. You get on Facebook and if you start scrolling, you're like in hell, okay? I don't even really know how Facebook works, and I am a very media literate person. I graduated cum laude, guys, okay? Not to rub it in, not to, toot my own horn, but I don't know how Facebook works. Okay, there's people and there's pages. And at my job, whenever I have to sign in to do Google Ads on something, I have to sign in through my personal account. Why can I not sign in through my work thing? I don't want to sit there and look at the profile that I made in 2012 to connect it to my fucking Jetpack Joyride. I don't want to sit there and look at that. Okay, I was trying to play Jetpack Joyride and have it remember me when I switched from iPod Touch to an iPhone. I wasn't doing that in order to have Mark Zuckerberg know where I live. I don't know how Facebook works, but they know everything. They know everybody, okay? You look something up on Google and it pops up with your Facebook account and it says, David, you're currently searching for Taco Bell hours. We could have Taco Bell delivered to you in 20 minutes, but only if you sign in through Facebook. And also, we're going to cookie you so that the next 50 hours of your website data, it goes right to us. But we're good guys. Mark Zuckerberg is so cool. Did you see his gold chain on Joe Rogan Experience? That's how I feel when I use Facebook. It's like it is the new CIA. I absolutely hate Facebook. Whenever I made an account with my Mario Mushroom profile picture in 2012 to sign my account up to Jetpack Joyride, I didn't want Mark Zuckerberg to know whether or not I bought a product. I didn't want Mark Zuckerberg to know where I lived. And look, Mr. Zuck, okay, I don't care whether people think you stole the idea. We're way past that. What I want to know now is why? Why? You're worth $200 billion, but you're still scrambling to find a new way to invade privacy. When Facebook came out, it was cool. It was cool. Same with every social platform. It was cool at one time. It was cool at one time. Oh, are you on Facebook? Let's be friends. We can share memes. And we can know who are you? Are you dating anybody? Oh my gosh. Good for you. That's so cool. And now it's like, you viewed this post on Facebook Marketplace on Tuesday, November 5th at 5:38 a.m. And then after you viewed that Facebook Marketplace post, you visited Twitter.com and you viewed a YouTube video about Clash Royale, and after that you walked to the kitchen and you heated up a Hot Pocket. And we know that, and it's not technically legal that we know that, but we own you and we can send you push notifications. Do you want push notifications? We have so many push notifications to send you. Do you want we can send you push notifications. We can, that's how it feels to visit Facebook. Whenever I go to facebook.com, I don't ever do that, but I have to at work. And when I do that, it feels like I am selling part of myself. I hate it. I hate it. Facebook is maybe the Antichrist. What does the Bible say about the Antichrist? The Bible says that you have to have it in order to make transactions. If I want to buy an old mini fridge, I have to have Facebook unless I want to pay full market value. If I want to connect my Supercell ID so that my Clash Royale stays intact, I have to connect Facebook. If I want to play Jetpack Joyride, I have to connect Facebook. If I want to play anything, okay? You download Candy Crush and they hit you with a thing that's like, hey, we want to know where the hell you are right now, or else your levels will not be saved. Where are you? What's your blood type? Are you vaccinated? What vaccines do you have? You want to save your Candy Crush? What vaccines do you have? That's how it feels, You download Candy Crush, and they go, do you have your tetanus shot? It looks like you're behind on your tetanus shot. You're 3 months overdue. You're 3 months overdue for your tetanus shot. You better come in. Mark will administer the aid himself. That's how it feels to use Facebook in 2025 and the past 10 years. That's how it feels. To me, at least. It's not a social platform. It is literally a data harvesting, data mining platform. I don't know anyone in my own personal life that posts anything on Facebook. And if I find out someone that I'm friends with posts on Facebook, it motivates me to cut them out of my life. What the fuck are you doing posting anything on Facebook? Okay, I know. I'm a hypocrite. I post on Instagram, which is also owned by Zuck, which is also owned by the CIA. But, Instagram at least has some integrity left. When I go on Instagram, I don't feel like a sheep that's being herded around by a sheepdog. When I go on Instagram, I post stupid stuff on my story for shits and giggles, and I post maybe one post a year just to let people know that I'm alive. Hey guys, I'm alive. I keep up with my close inner circle, but in case I don't keep up with you, I'm breathing, my heart's beating. That, like, Instagram is not like that, and Twitter definitely isn't. I'll give one thing to Elon. At least he didn't turn Twitter into Facebook, because Facebook is terrible. And I struggle with this too because I work in marketing and we, the company I work at, we advertise on Facebook. And I always just feel like a piece of crap using that platform because we get as many sales on Facebook as we do from Google. We use Google Ads as well. Like when you search for something, we're going to pop up and then you're going to buy from us. That makes sense to me. But what doesn't make sense to me is the fact that you can advertise on Facebook and like 10,000 people a day are going to see it and they're going to buy whatever the hell you're advertising. And that just proves my point, is that Facebook is not a social platform. Facebook is not for expressing yourself. Facebook is not for creating something cool that you really like and putting it out there. Facebook exists to mine your personal life. Facebook exists to collect your analytics. Facebook exists to know your name, know where you're from, know where you went to school, and then sell that shit off to people who want you to buy products. It's not a real place at all. When I'm on Twitter, I'll see ads for the most random stuff. The most random stuff. I don't even know how they got there. I don't know how they arrived at me. But it's there. And that makes me happy because it tells me that this is a platform for discourse, for news, for keeping up with the times. And it's not solely a platform to mine your data and sell it to millionaires. Facebook is absolutely disgusting. And The Social Network is one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay? David Lynch did a great job. Not David Lynch. Who made this? I always get these two mixed up. Hold on. It was David Fincher. Yes. Fincher, Lyncher, Fincher, Lyncher. David Lyncher is not a good look, by the way. Good thing it stops at the H there. Wouldn't be good. But, yeah, Facebook is a disgusting platform. And if you post on it, you are licking the boot. I'm sorry, but there you go. That's the news of the week. It's gross. Because here's the thing. So, Google has a monopoly. They do. Unfortunately, Google has the search engine monopoly. Nobody uses Bing. Nobody uses anything but Google. Most people use Google Chrome. Oh, you want to sign into your Google account on Chrome and stay signed in forever and never leave? And then we can figure out everything about you. That's sinister enough. And everything about that whole thing is sinister. I mean, the second that you connect to a Wi-Fi network, you're like alerted to 50,000 corporations. This guy's signed in and he wants to buy a product. I swear he wants to buy a product. That's how it goes. But at least Google still has some usefulness today. Now, one thing I hate about Google is that now instead of showing you search results first, if you look something up, they'll go, this is what our Google AI has to say about what you searched. And then they'll throw shit at the wall to see if it sticks. Okay? 90% of the time that I search for something that I know every facet of, and they give me an AI poop report, it's always wrong. And that's so dangerous because if I search for something I know nothing about and the AI thing pops up and I read that, it's wrong. It's not right. It's wrong. It wasn't written by people. It was written by a goddamn algorithm that doesn't know anything, that has never felt a human emotion, or touched anybody, or done anything, or felt anything. Okay? It was written by a fucking robot. And robots don't know people. That's the thing, is these transhumanism corporate elite of all these tech companies, they think they worship robots. They worship code. They worship computers. They worship binary. They don't give a shit about people. They never have. Why do you think these guys made social platforms to interact with people? It's because they didn't know how to do it in real life. It's because anytime someone approached them in real life, they would squirm in their shoes and shit themselves, and they didn't know how to do anything. So these people that are in charge of these tech companies want you to die. They want me to die. They want to have an AI conversation forever about anything. They don't give a shit about people. And that is maybe the first business model in history that has ever not given a shit about people, okay? If you're a business, usually you have to give a shit about people because those are your customers. Your customers are humans that have souls, that have brains, that have hearts, and they walk into your store and they go, I'd like to buy a bagel. I want to buy a bagel. Do you guys have an everything bagel, and could I get butter on that? And maybe, a vanilla iced coffee. Excuse me, sir, I really want to buy a car from you. Show me the Carfax. What's the history report? Not tech CEOs. Tech CEOs are selling your personal data to other people in suits who want you to buy their stuff. And there's a difference in that type of work. The difference in that type of work. So the CEO of the companies that buy the data, they care about you. They want you to buy their product, just like every other business does, but they're still having you in mind, okay? Their marketing is still having you in mind because you're a person, you're a living, breathing creature that, they have to cater to. And a lot of those, the general public eats up. Oh, I'm a Ford guy. I only buy a Ford. Oh, I love Subaru because they're like environmentally savvy, and I love to eat granola bars. Oh, I like Honda. They never die. There's a difference between the CEO of a real company that sells to living, breathing people and a CEO of a tech company that sells that information to the rest of them. There's a very big difference. There's a huge dichotomy there because the people in the tech company are like, I don't give a flying shit about you or your interests. Whenever you look something up on Google, I know exactly who you are. I know your blood type. I know the day you were born. I know where you are. I have your IP address. I could turn off the lights in your house right now and stop the water. If you wanted to go take a shower in 20 minutes, I could turn that off. You'd be dirty. That's what these tech CEOs are. They are the enemies of the state. They are the enemies of humanity. They're the enemies of everything that you and me hold deeply in our hearts. And I don't mean to get all dramatic, but that's the truth. That is the goddamn truth. Is these people that care more about binary code and whether or not their algorithm cookied you on their site than if people are dying and if people are, happy. These people, if there was ever an Antichrist, okay, Revelations mentions the Antichrist a lot. A lot of people think it's AI, and actually, I'm kind of on board with that. If AI continues down the road that it's going, then it might be the Antichrist, you know? The Antichrist says that it's against, like, all human intuitions, all human values, but everyone loves it, everyone eats it up. You know, that could very well be the Antichrist. But if it's not AI, then it's these tech CEOs who don't care about you. They care about your data. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg does not care about the fact that you're really into Bluntstone boots. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't care about the fact that you absolutely love Mike Trout. Mike Trout's your GOAT. He doesn't know he doesn't know who Mike Trout is. You know what he knows? That you love Mike Trout. These people don't have souls. These people don't know how to connect to people. We are being governed by a group of people that have never had a human connection in their life. All they know is that other people have feelings and thoughts and connections, and they want to harvest those so that they can make another dollar. And so that they can, instead of being worth $100 billion, I want to be worth $200 billion. I don't, forget about being a real person. Forget about, forget about any love that's ever managed to invade my heart. No. I want the next 100 billion. How can I do it? Yeah, this episode did not go according to plan. I was going to use this episode to make fun of people on Twitter that reply, like to Elon Musk. This was supposed to be about Ian Miles Chong and Jeff Tiedrick, but it turned into something completely different. I'm sorry, I was in my feelings, which is what a tech CEO could never relate to because they're robots. They're reptilians who hate the human race and hope we all die. They're probably from outer space. Mark Zuckerberg is not Jewish. He's fucking from Mars. And he hates you. Okay? Yeah, but don't get on Facebook. Don't get on Facebook. Just stay off. Stay off. Facebook already knows everything about you. They know your interests. They know your goals. They know your heart. They know your relationship status. They know your shoe size. They know your height, your weight, your blood type. Just don't get on Facebook. Just don't. Facebook is not where you want to be. It's not. Unless you're like on that side where you go, I want Zuckerberg to know everything about me. What's wrong with Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg went on JRE with a gold chain, and he pretended that he knew how to shoot a bow. Oh, Zuckerberg, you're really coming around. Did you see Bezos at the inauguration? Oh, he's never looked so good. Bezos is awesome. Bezos is cool. I like Bezos. He's a cool guy. He was so relatable at the inauguration. Bezos was like, I just feel like I could get a beer with Bezos and Zuckerberg, you know? They're cool guys. What's wrong with Bezos and Zuckerberg? They know everything about me without my consent, but like, they voted Trump, and they were at the inauguration. They're so cool. Bezos and Zuckerberg are so cool. You get my point. You get my point. The only tech CEO I kind of trust is Tim Cook, and maybe that trust is dumb. Maybe it's completely stupid, but I don't know. I get good vibes from Tim Cook. He's a gay guy, and he knew Steve Jobs personally, and Is Apple worse than it's ever been? Yes. But is Apple still Apple? Yes. It's still better than anything that you could possibly find out there. If you have anything but an iPhone, you should be put in a camp, obviously. That's a joke. If you have never used a MacBook, you're never going to go back. Once you do, have you used a MacBook? Oh my gosh. I don't know. Tim Cook, I feel like he is just a guy who knew Bill Gates. Not Bill Gates. He knew Steve Jobs. And he got the job, you know. I have a weird trust in Tim Cook. But anyway, that'll about do it for this episode. You know what? No, it won't. I really have to pee, and I was going to end the episode over that. But instead, I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back after I pee. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm going to set up a light because it's very dark. And, you know, I don't want you guys to experience the darkness. I want this episode to be a light in your life. Because even though we're currently ruled by a cabal of transhumanism, people that do not care about humanity, that hate humanity, that want to replace us with AI, this should be a light, you know? Have you listened to the newest alternative jargon? It was so inspirational. There, look. We're here. We're doing it. All right. Still using a phone, by the way, to record. This is the most homegrown thing of all time. This is not astroturfed. This is just grown. All right. But I was talking about Tim Cook. And look, I like Apple products. So does everyone. A lot of people thought Apple was the Antichrist because there was a bite taken out of their logo. Oh my God. Was that a reference to Eve? Was that a reference to Eve? I don't think Apple is. I think Apple's been kind of savage recently, actually. When Trump put the tariffs on, they flew out a bunch of planes from China. They loaded a bunch of Boeing 747s full of iPhones and flew them back to the U.S. And then Trump was like, well, we're not going to put the tariffs onto Apple. Apple is exempt. You look at what Apple does. I love tweeting from my iPhone. Lots of people love to tweet from the iPhone. We're not going to do it. It would be unconstitutional to put a tariff on Apple. Apple is love. Apple is life. He pretty much said that. But yeah, say what you will about that. Maybe Tim Cook slid him a little Venmo payment. I don't know. It's the modern day White House. Anything is possible. Anything's possible. It could be possible that Tim Cook came to the Oval Office, got on his knees and begged Trump. Good morning, Mr. Trump. We do not want to have tariffs on all the Apple products. What are your thoughts on that? That very well could have happened. And it probably did. Who knows? Or they sent their lobbyist in. But it's 4:22 in the morning. Trump was just at the UFC. The UFC is the UFC is the headquarters of testosterone. I've heard that if you go to a UFC main event, the second that you go through the turnstile at the arena or the stadium where it's at, the second your bag gets checked to make sure you're not going to blow the place up, you actually get like 100 more testosterone. I don't know if that's true. I heard it on Breitbart.com. I haven't seen the Huffington Post post about it yet, so the libs are probably libbing. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've ranted enough. The only part of this episode where you could even see my face was at the very end. And I guess you could call that the light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, I'm kind of exhausted from talking about tech CEOs who want AI to replace us. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. But I think this was a very unscripted episode. I was going to talk about Reply Guys. I'll have to save that for another time. I'll have screenshots up on the screen for that. But I think maybe this one will be called Facebook is the Antichrist. I think that's a good title. So if you watched or listened all the way through this, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I love you all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great time. And do not post on Facebook. Goodbye.